Hi Stampers, it's Kelly Entz from Stamping with Kelly, and I'm so glad that you're joining me for this monthly online card club video tutorial. This is something that I've been doing online now for the past 6 years, and I absolutely love connecting with so many of you across Canada and even the world. If you are in Canada though, please reach out to me because I prep these packages and send them all over the country. And you can make these cards along with me. So I think that this month they're sold out already, but I have years and years of monthly card club tutorials that you can choose from. So just let me know if you'd like that link. You can write it in the comments and then I can send that over to you. You can select which ones you'd like, and everything comes with an online video tutorial. So if you're joining me here, stay tuned. I'm going to be taking you through some projects with some great little techniques and tips and tricks along the way. We can craft together. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know as well. Let me know where you're watching from. I'm here in sort of sunny Edmonton, Alberta right now. I'm looking up because I'm in my basement stamping studio, and it was sunny earlier. It was like plus 17 degrees, and then it like raining and maybe snowing tomorrow, but oh my goodness. Oh, here we are buckling in for our 8th winter of the year, right? Right. It's just kind of crazy, isn't it? I'm just going to look back here and see if anyone's on. I'd love for you to say if the tech is working, because you know I'm my own tech queen over here as well. Gotta love wearing all the hats, right? So I did mention it is April, and this is a transitional time of year for Stampin' Up, and it's extra transitional this year because we are switching from having 2 catalogs running at any given time, so an annual catalog and a mini catalog, and we are going to be switching to just having one catalog that kind of bridges everything. I can't show you inside of this catalog yet, but I can give it to you. So if you're in the Edmonton area and you'd like to pick up a catalog from my front porch at your convenience, you're going to get an extra bonus card. And if you would like one mailed anywhere in Canada, please just reach out. I'm putting together these awesome little packages. Everyone gets 1 card to make, but the people who pick up from my place get 2 cards. So this card here, you may have received this in your catalog. It might be different color schemes because you know I'm prepping like 70 or more of these. I think I did 72 or something. So if you've got a card packet that looks like this, just stay tuned because I'm going to be doing my unboxing video of my pre-order and taking you through that because I can show you physical products and I can tell you about things. I just can't open this on camera. So let me know if you do want one of those. It's also going to come with an in-color bookmark, and I love these because I design from paper very often. And I love having the paper swatches. It's also a great way to see how those in colors fit in with everything else, right? Like you might be thinking, what does hydrangea hue look like in comparison to our current cloud cover? Well, you can see this one is a lot more purple than our cloud cover, which is our other in color that's sticking around for another year. So these ones are coming May 5th. That's the new catalog start date. And they're going to be available for 2 years. We've got Barely Blush, Crisp Cantaloupe, Golden Glow, Peaceful Pine, and Hydrangea Hue. People who have been crafting for a while might remember the Crisp Cantaloupe. That one did come back. And then on the back side, I have a lot of information that's helpful, and including a link to my upcoming events. So I'd love to see you at some upcoming events, whether they're in person or online. We can do custom classes with you and your friends. We can do kit classes at your workplace. You can come to my kit classes that I hold at the cafe crafting events at Brew and Bloom in South Edmonton. I love those events. And I'm actually looking at doing one, maybe a pop-up one, this coming Sunday. The timing I think may be kind of early afternoon to kind of mid-afternoon. We need about a 3-hour window, but if you can only come for part of it, that's totally fine because we use kits just like this one here that come in a box with everything that you need. And then when you open up that kit, You can work on it. You can come and sip some beverages, or you can have a full meal, just some little snacks. Just the brew is coffee. They're really known for their coffees and they're gorgeous. But you could even just come and order a Diet Coke. There's no extra fee. It's just the cost of the kit and then whatever you choose to spoil yourself with for some nibbles and drinks. So just let me know. I tallied this up the other day. I have over 115 kits to choose from. It's a little crazy, right? Yeah, it's a little crazy. Okay, I'm going to take you through some promotions here and then we'll get crafting in a little bit here, okay? So the first thing that I want to tell you about is Stampin' Up's product of the month. This is a monthly exclusive product that for the last many months has been $5 with a minimum purchase of $100. So when you're placing your online order, you'll see a slider bar up at the top of the screen and you'll see how close you are to getting this product of the month. The product of the month will never be sold otherwise. It's just available while supplies last for people who place minimum $100 orders. You can't get multiples of the same one, but you can place $100 order increments and get perhaps some past product of the month that will be available. Again, those have to be placed in orders by themselves. You can't put like a $200 order in and then expect to get 2 of those. So just make sure that you're splitting those up. This one here is so cool, so different, and honestly, it would have probably a value of $40 or more, I would say, because it's a big hunk of metal. This is the, what do they call this? Eyelet Blooms die. And I want to show you it here. I just got it the other day, so I didn't even have a chance to cut anything with it. But what it's going to do is cut out these little flowers here, these little flowers, and then it's going to cut some shapes here that will lift up a little bit. Now you do want to make sure that you are very carefully removing the paper, just so that you don't have it break or tear. But you can see like how detailed this truly is. Come on, camera. Doesn't like the shiny. So you can see it's so detailed. There's really so much going on in this, and it doesn't cut out a rectangle, so you could even put this onto a larger piece of paper and have this as a little bit of a bordered frame on it as well. So again, just $5, and the reason why it's $5 is because they actually had a misprint and in their promotional materials, and it was supposed to be $7. And so next month it's going to switch to the $7 that it was supposed to be, but they honored that misprint and they've been giving it to us at a discount for the last few months. So make sure you cash in on that. And then I also have a special promotion at $100, but I give it to you for free. So if you like to place a $100 minimum order in a month, then you will actually get a gift from me. And unfortunately, I don't have any more of those trinkets. So you will be getting these gorgeous garden gems, and you're getting 2 packs of these. So you're getting lots to play with. You can use these almost like leaves or petals. There's so many different ways of putting them together, and I think it's Lost Lagoon, and then this is like more Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, and these little round dots. So they're gorgeous, they're faceted and so shiny. You can really play around and have a lot of fun with those. So make sure you're placing your minimum $100 order. What are you going to order for $100? Well, I'm so happy that you asked, because there are certain items right now that you will want to check your inventory and you will want to purchase them before May 5th. Okay, so whether it's this month for Card Club and the promotions that we're having this month, or even in the beginning of May before the new catalog comes out, you will want to make sure that you are purchasing many of our adhesives because they're going up. Some of them are going up in bigger amounts. Some of them are just smaller ones, but you can see here adhesive sheets. What else is there? The seal and the Stampin' Seal and refills are going up. And take your pick brush tip. The grid paper is changing. That's already sold out of the old fashion, the old style. The liquid glue the multi-purpose green glue, which I call the Tombow glue, like this one, right? That one's going up in price. And again, hate to say it, but it's because of tariffs. So it is a tricky world out there in terms of importing and exporting, and Stampin' Up! Tries to absorb the price changes as much as possible, and they don't fluctuate really during the year. So you can only imagine the tariff adjustments that they've had to absorb over the past many months, right? So we anticipated this coming. They are softening the blow for many of them as much as they can. And you just want to make sure that you're getting the items that you need before May 5th. And so you don't have to pay that premium. One of the biggest increases, unfortunately, are the cards and envelopes and the white paper envelopes that come in a pack of 40. So those are going up significantly. You're going to want to purchase those before May 5th. Okay, make sure you've got enough supply to last you for the year, for all your birthday cards, and for Christmas mail outs. But you guys know I actually really love using, I'm not a real plastic person, but I really like using these reusable plastic sleeves. These are our clear envelopes, and they have adhesive at the top there that you can fold over. I love using them for organizing in my craft room. I love mailing cards in them, and I love storing my cards in them too. So that's how you'll receive your supply from me when you, oops, I have it all spread out here. Why am I grabbing that one? That's how you'll receive your card club packets from me. And just make sure that you're reusing that envelope, because you can use it over and over and over again. I just love reusing those. Even people who receive my cards and gifts in person, they'll open up the gift and they'll be like, here's your envelope back. Like, great, I can use that again. It's perfect. So just as we talked about some paper products, the cardstock is not going up in price, despite me maybe being a little bit misleading, because I did think it was, but I understood it as paper products were going up, but what's actually going up are designer series papers. Okay, so the envelopes are going up, the designer series papers. I'm skipped over the dimensionals in the adhesive section. That's going up a little bit. Cutting blades are going up in price, and some other tools like the brayer, blending brushes, ink pads and refills. There's new ink pads coming, you guys. I actually wasn't even going to show this today, but I'm going to show it because it's important to know. The new style of ink pad is really, really interesting. Sorry, you can tell I'm not quite ready for this because I didn't even open it up. But I wanted to show you what's coming. So for the moment, it's only going to be the new 5 in colors, which are going to be available in this new magnetic style pad. So this, you can see, comes together really easy. You can kind of flip it over and hinge it like that. You can put this on top of it and they stack really nicely. But we've got our really nice linen pad in there. So this is a little bit different than our firm foam that we have been used to for the last couple of years. But these new ink pads are a design patent that they actually received when they bought out the rest of Close to My Heart. So when Close to My Heart was going out of business, Stampin' Up! Stepped in, supported their demonstrators, their makers as they call them. And I'm doing this without telling you, but take off this little sticker and you've got 2 English versions of the sticker, and I'm going to show you where to put those. But this is a design patent that they received as a part of the Close to My Heart transition. And this is going to be a really lovely design, especially for people who are experiencing some mobility issues in their hands. If you've got pain with arthritis, sometimes navigating the other pad was a little bit tricky. So I'm putting one here on the end, and then there's actually a little spot here that you can put one on the inside too. And then you'll know exactly what ink pad you've got. Peaceful Pine. Flip that over. So you can even do this one-handed. It's just really easy. So the size of it is really nice. You can see compared to our D block, it's a little bit longer than that. And again, only going to be available in these new in colors to begin with. And then starting in the next annual catalog, I think around May, maybe the year after or something like that. Forgive me if I'm giving wrong information, but in about a year or so, then all of the other ink pads will transition into that. So you don't have to replace all of your ink pads. I never do. Even though they've changed styles a few times, I just purchased the new ones that I want to replace the ones that I would like to replace when the new style comes out. And so don't feel an obligation. This new design does come with a little bit more of a price tag. We anticipate that with anything that has magnets, right? Magnets can be quite expensive. And I think that it's going to be a really awesome game changer for many people. And if you don't see the value of that, don't worry. You don't have to replace all of your ink pads. You can just keep going with what you've got going on. So back to that little slide there of things that are increasing in price. One of the most important things that you can do right now is take a look at your re-inker supply, because you'd hate to pay more for a re-inker. So what your job is to take a look at your ink pads and make sure that every single ink pad that you own has a refill to go along with it, because you never want to let that go dry. You can keep those ink pads going for years and years. I've been a demonstrator as of 19 years this coming month, and I still have ink pads from when I was just a customer before I was a demonstrator. So these are definitely over 20 years old. So just make sure that you're getting those re-inkers, and it's really awesome to save money on those right now, right? Right. Okay. Oh, look at some people are commenting. Whoa, that's a lot. I don't know what that is referring to, but I agree. I don't know. If it's tricky to remove your paper from the die, you can add a layer of wax paper in between your papers and dies. Works like a charm. Thank you, Donna. What a great tip. You guys are so clever. I really appreciate our vast community and the collective knowledge that we share with each other. Aren't we awesome? The last chance products have also been updated this month. So they did go through a change at the beginning of the month. So some items might be sold out, but there's still so many to choose from, and lots of them have discounts as well. What you want to be paying attention to right now is that some of the items that are bundled are actually less expensive to get unbundled. So when you're looking at purchasing a bundle and it has that little tag on it, last chance, just make sure you also take a look at those products individually, because you might be saving more money by purchasing them separate. So you have to do some quick math. The bundle and save 10% doesn't get adjusted when items go into the last chance, which can be confusing, but we just have to do a little bit more homework. And if you're worried about anything, as always, I highly suggest you use me. I'm your tool. I'm your helper. I'm your extra set of eyes. So you can send me a screenshot of your proposed order, and I can give it a once over, make sure that there's nothing that we're missing, and then give you the A-OK, and you can hit submit and know that you are getting the best deal possible. I love doing that for you, because I love doing that for me too. We've got awesome paper pumpkins coming, and man, I really was thinking that this was going to arrive today. I was almost like holding my breath on it. This is the Lakeside Retreat. So you can't sign up for this one anymore. This is our all-inclusive kit that is a surprise that comes month to month. You can register for 1 month at a time. You can go on the subscription, or you can even purchase prepaid subscriptions that are 3, 6, and 12 months at a time. So the Lakeside Retreat one closed April 10th. And so if you're interested in getting this kit, again, we don't know what's inside. All we know is this little sneak peek here. But if you're interested in that, then reach out to me, because I do have extra kits available. The one that you would receive if you sign up right now is this Sparkling Celebrations. And okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you. It's like that Tangled scene from the Disney movie Tangled, with all the lanterns and a beautiful sunset sky and sparkles, and then layered elements that you're putting over the top of it. So lots of really fun and beautiful things that you can layer, or you can even choose to just use them totally differently. There's a group called the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. It's on Facebook, and the creativity in that group is unreal. So if you're ever thinking or wondering what else you could make with your paper pumpkins, definitely go onto that group. You will be so inspired. There are so many gorgeous things in that group, and you can search it too. So if you know the name of the kit that you're working on, just pop it into the search bar within that group, and all the pictures of these projects will come up, and you'll be so inspired you're going to want to refill as well. The kit that we will have starting May 11th is this Bikes and Blooms. So you can see there's a little bit of a sneak peek, silver foil and silver embellishments, cute little bicycle, and some kind of plants and twine elements on there too. So stay tuned for that one coming in June. Stampin' Up! Is doing a really awesome promotion for the last while, where they're doing a coordinating die cut set. So this coordinating die cut goes with these 3 months that I've just showed you. You've got your little fireworks burst, your little for sale sign or yard sign, business sign, I guess it could be too. And you've got butterflies and flowers and the word wonderful. So this is only available for Paper Pumpkin subscribers. If you want to get your hands on this, just type in add-on to our online store and it'll pop right back up. And again, cafe crafting. I'm really hoping that this is going to work. I'm kind of fitting it around my kids' activities that weekend, and my son has an out-of-town activity that's going to require a lot of driving. So let me know if you're interested and I can keep you posted. What we're looking at is Sunday. It is April and it's 26, I think. That makes sense, I think. 26. Let me just look. Yeah, the 26th, sometime in the afternoon. So if you're wanting to come out to that event, just send me a little note on Facebook, Instagram, by email, even text me, whatever you want to do. Just send me a little note and then I'll keep you updated with what times we end up choosing. Okay, we are going to go to the desk where I'm going to show you our first projects. They are coming from a paper pumpkin, which I've talked about a lot already. But this is a past paper pumpkin kit from February of 2025 that said, "Hello Spring." And I'm trying to manifest some spring for you guys. I'm working hard over here, but Mother Nature sometimes working against us right now. But this one, I just love this kit. I do still have full kits available, no refills available on this one. And if you're ever wondering what kits I have available, I have a whole section of paper pumpkin kits, and then also kits collection projects that you can choose from. You can order from me anywhere in Canada. I can ship these. They usually go well through letter mail. I have a creative way of packaging them, so I can send them through letter mail. Or if you want to purchase 5 or 6 of them, they fit really nicely into a flat rate shipping box for around $18 or less. So Hello Spring is an all-inclusive kit that has a stamp set, petunia pop ink spot, all the adhesives, and then a whole bunch of consumable supplies that we would use to make these 3 different style of projects. So you can see 3 each. So that's where the Paper Pumpkin Fan Club comes in, because maybe you want to make 1 each of the way that Stampin' Up! Has designed them. And then maybe you want to play around with the bits and pieces and be inspired by other people's designs. So this is a great way of crafting. You can see the nice green tones there. I'm obsessed with these envelopes. They're top loading and they're printed on the inside, so they're just gorgeous. And the nice basic beige printed on the outside. So let's take a look. I've made one of these projects almost to completion. And thank you so much for your flexibility, everyone, for letting me go to the Oilers game last night, because it was like top tier game. First game of the playoffs, and boy oh boy, it did not disappoint. It had everything that you wanted, like suspense and action and really engaging fans, and it was just so fabulous. So thank you very much for being flexible. It means I have one less card to show you because I didn't craft one last night, but let me take you through these ones here. So this one here in the middle, you'll want a little saying, again, if you're going with the matchy colors of what Stampin' Up has, this is the color Petunia Pop. It's an in color that's actually leaving us May 4th would be the last day to order it. May 5th is the start of the new catalog. So this is the start of it. They've got some laser cut pieces, and then you're going to do a little loop. This is just a zigzag of that twine. You might want it less. I think I ended up cutting about 2 inches off the piece that I gave to you all. But again, just make it a loop like what you figure looks good, and then some dimensionals on there, and we can put this on. Now I wanted to incorporate these beautiful gems, the garden gems that I'm giving away as a free gift this month. So you'll see I've included some of those in your kits as well. For this one, I just put it on here, here, and then down here at the bottom. So you've got 5 of those, looking good. Let's take a look at our other cards here. So there is a little bit of stamping to do, but again, if you don't have this stamp set or this kit, that's okay. This is optional, but I wanted to show you that the stamp set that is included has these great chives, and then it has these little chive blossoms which you can put on there as well. So I like that the chives themselves can be grass even. You could use them as a whole bunch of different things, but if you wanted to put on that little blossom with the Petunia Pop, you're welcome to do that. Here we got thanks for helping me grow, happy Easter, hello spring, this is a really fun one for you, sending love, and to a wonderful friend, as well as this little kind of background stamped image there. So if you don't have that, that's okay. Just find a little saying that works for you. For this card, it's going on to this little circle tag, and then I'll take you through this other one here in just a minute. It's going to be similar, but just a little bit different. So Petunia Pop, you can see these older ink pads are great. They keep the ink pad moist for a long time. You don't have to refill it all the time, like it's not got lots of air gaps, but it is a little bit more firm when you're opening and closing it. Same sort of thing, you've got the little stickers that you can put on the front and then also on the inside as well. The inside one doesn't have a second, it doesn't have any words that go on it. Okay, and then let's see here, for this I think I might do hello spring. That sounds nice. Nice to have a little springtime card. And I'm like making do with just one block here. Like I don't own almost 100 of these blocks, right? And I close up my ink pad. I'm a little bit off kilter maybe today still. It was a late game last night. It was so much fun though. We had a blast. Made it into a nice date night. And yes, the vibes were high. It was hopping in there. A wonderful game to go to. We were talking about it, and because of my husband's work schedule, we don't get to go to hockey games together very much. And then, you know, as my son has enjoyed hockey more and more over the years, I've kind of deferred to him going with my husband. So that was only my husband and my second time going to an Oilers game together. Isn't that crazy? Oh well, that's all right. We're celebrating 16 years together and 13 years married this year. So I think we need to prioritize a little bit more date nights of us going to hockey games. And the funny part was my 9-year-old son, I'm just looking for some dimensionals here, sorry. I've got lots of mini dimensionals. Where's my bigger ones? They're there. My 9-year-old son was outraged that he wasn't going. Oh, darling boy, I love you to bits, but life is not all about you, despite what you might believe. So I'm just putting this on with some dimensionals just kind of to the side here. And then I'm going to, there's a little tag here. This is going to go, it looks like over top of the words actually. And I'm going to put adhesive just on one side and dimensional on the other side. Then the Hello Spring is going to go on, and I'm going to put this little zigzag of twine on there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of my Stampin' Seal on the back. Yeah, that's right. Mom needs to go to the boy aquarium. Yeah. We had so much fun though, and the seats were great, and we got them actually through silent auction for charity. And don't ask me what the charity was. It was like sports for kids, and so it was like just a no-brainer. We had to take advantage of that amazing deal, donate some money to some kids getting into sports, and have ourselves a date night. And then this I'm putting on with dimensionals here as well. This is going to go just kind of tucked in there. And then of course we've got those extra little gems. There's a bonus, so you can put those on. I'm just going to put them on just kind of up here and down here. And then some of the little smaller dots. I wanted to give you a whole bunch of these, so I hope you have fun putting them onto your projects. You can put them on like leaves if you want. So there's that card, looking cute, hey? And then just quickly, I won't maybe adhere this all, but I would like to show you this last card. Oh, which is not this one. That is funny. I don't have the last one. Okay, what I'm going to do is show you the instructions on the inside. Sorry, I thought I planned this through very well. Okay, there's no stamping on 2 of these pieces. Those are just pre-printed. There is a little bit of stamping again on that one chive piece. You can do that if you'd like. And then stamping on our little tag here. This one says, "Thanks for helping me grow." You're just putting these 2 on with regular adhesive, this one on with some dimensionals. This will be that half and half dimensionals and Stampin' Seal with a little zigzag, and then you've got your little gems to go on there. Easy, simple, right? And beautiful. I love these cards. They're so green, and I need green right now. How about you? So let's move on to our next card, which is our actual first card club card. That first card, I should have mentioned before I got started that it's actually a bonus card for people who pick up their supplies from my place. And if you do, then instead of spending money on postage, I get to spoil you with another card. Now, some of you might not have that ability to come and pick up from my house, and that's okay. I don't want to penalize you. So if you do want to purchase that extra bonus card every month, you can do that as well. This card here is so bright and fun and fresh. We are going to have a lot of fun building this little fun fold card that's really simple and effective. So I'm going to take all my pieces out. I'm going to save this because my card's going to go in there afterwards so that all my cute little embellishments stay put where they belong. This here is the card that we're going to be making. And of course you can find a saying that kind of goes with what you've got going on. This one is a honey theme, so I liked the "You Make My Heart" buzz. But the fun fold part of this is that there's a little easel fold so that you can have this laying on the mantle or on the table, the ledge, wherever people are displaying it, and then you can have your little message inside. So this little piece here acts as a little stopper for the easel fold. So let's start making this card together. I've got your cardstock already folded here, and remember that all these dimensions come to you in a PDF. in your email for my newsletter subscribers. So if you're wanting these, just make sure you sign up for my newsletter list, and then I will give you that information. This is such a cute online suite. They've got a whole bunch of different kind of jelly and spring themed designer series papers we'll go through in a minute. And then they also have stamp sets that coordinate. I actually just got the designer series paper and the embellishments. The ribbon is from another, like that's just from a generic. And then I also got this embossing folder, which I funnily thought were strawberries, but the name is Ladybug Picnic. So of course they're ladybugs. Oh, of course they are. Look at those cuties. So anyways, I didn't use that one on the project, but that's included in the suite, and I wanted to point that out. Let's start with this base piece here. This is going to go on the lower half of your cardstock base. Very, very thin margins for your mat. So just make sure you're getting those on there. Now I'm going to put my ribbon wrapped around here. So I'm just going to take a little bit extra than the length of that cardstock, and I'm going to put some seal on the back side of the ribbon. This ribbon is awesome for that because I don't know, the texture of it is just really great. And then on the back side here, just a little bit wrapping around so that we can finish those ends nicely. I think that's how an experienced stamper shows their experience, is by having these nice finished ends. I'm using this tear and tape just as a single-sided tape. Even though it is double-sided, you could definitely do that, but I want to put this on with dimensionals, so I'm just using that to hold the ends of the ribbon in place, not necessarily to its fullest potential. And we will put this onto our beautiful Misty Moonlight base. I love these colors together. Isn't this awesome? This is one of our in colors that's leaving us, okay? So think about the in colors. If it has something with that in color, it's going to be leaving. So the strawberry slush color is leaving. That means the ribbons, embellishments, things are going to be retiring. Then we've got the opportunity to put this on, but we only want it on the lower half. So my sneaky trick is that I flip it over so that I know exactly where to put my tear and tape. I use tear and tape for this because it's got a bit of motion. We're holding on a much larger piece of the cardstock with just holding it on in one section, right? So we want to make sure that we've got a nice firm hold on it. And then we've got our easel that has this panel lifting up. Okay, so then for our ribbon, I'm just doing the sneaky trick of gluing this on. It's such a firm, like you can feel it when you're using this ribbon. It's not going to tie into a bow super well just because it doesn't have the flex, but we can use it to our advantage different ways. And I really like the fact that I can glue this little tag on. I just tied a knot in it, and then I'm going to stick that on with a glue dot. Don't try to make a ribbon something that it's not. Appreciate it for what it is, right? If it's not flowing and flexing, don't try to make it flow and flex. Use it to what it's good for, right? Okay, so yes, a little bit of fussy cutting. I'm sorry. So you're going to have a large jam or honey, I guess, container, and we'll fussy cut around that for the front. And then you'll have one smaller, hopefully coordinating one. I think I matched them up really well. And that's going to go on the inside. So when I'm using my snips to cut, I'm using the entire length of the blade, but mostly the further in part. And I'm doing big, long strokes, pivoting my paper rather than using my scissors to cut around all those different curves. I find it gives a better result and my hands don't cramp, so that's always a perk. When you use the tip of your scissors, sometimes these ones are really good, but many other scissors will actually do a little bit of a side cut at the end. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just test your scissors and then you'll probably see what I'm talking about. At the end, if you snip into paper like this, oftentimes there's a little side snip that happens, like it kind of goes perpendicular. Anyways, you'll know if you are getting a result that you're not happy with, and how to fix it is to not use the tips of it, because that's just kind of a recipe for disaster. Now you'll notice we've got two tags. One of them was kind of intended to have a saying on the front, and then one of them was intended to be a part of this easel. You can definitely put a saying on that second one. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. The coordinating ink that I'm using here is Misty Moonlight, and I also used some Versamark to stamp this honeycomb onto the Misty Moonlight. You could get the exact same look by stamping Misty Moonlight ink onto the Misty Moonlight paper, or Versamark will do the same trick, but Versamark obviously will not work there. So I'm grabbing my Misty Moonlight regardless. Which stamp sets might work? Well, some of them are current that I pulled out here. So this Be My Valentine is great if you've got that honey, the little bear honey jar. Then you can put on some of those, you know, You're As Sweet as Honey. You can do some stamping. Maybe you put You're As Sweet on the top line and then As Honey on the next line. You can do some masking there. This is where I got those little honeycombs. There's another. It's bigger. I didn't grab it actually. There's like more of a scrapbooking set that you can use along with this one too. And then I had to grab this one because even though it is retired, it's a great one. If you've got this in your collection, you've got lots of little berries and maybe even an orange here that you can use as a background stamp. So that's what I'm going to put on to this little tag here. And again, that one has a coordinating die pack. But I hate doing this, and I don't do that very often, but show you something that's retired from my stash that you can't get yourself anymore. It's like torture. Sorry. I'm using my Misty Moonlight. I've got a saying now that I'm using from this cute little banner saying. These are great and so helpful when you're making your card club cards because they will fit onto any size of paper, right? Thanks a million, sending love. These are made to go and they're bundled with that triple banner punch, which I've used on another card actually. So I must have it in this drawer. Ah, there it is. Triple banner punch, this one here. So if you are looking to bundle and save, this is a great one. Get that triple banner punch and a whole bunch of sayings that will really do a great job of fitting onto anything that you need. I need a bit of scrap paper. Oh, look at this. How handy is that? I didn't even try to do this, but I've got my new scrap paper from the Stampin' Positioner. So this becomes available to customers on May 5th. Sorry for the confusion when that first came out. They weren't very communicative about when it was actually going to be available. We were doing like a little preview to new demonstrators, but they didn't really tell us when it was going to become available for everyone. I'm just doing a repeating pattern of this cute little orange slice to go with my orange marmalade. Aw, I love matchy. When it works, it works. And if it doesn't, that's okay. You could probably just do any little like hearts or stars, polka dots, whatever background set that you have. And then I'm going to put You're the Sweetest because that is kind of the greatest saying that you could have to go along with this cute little jam set. So I'm going to put that in the lower right. Again, it's a much smaller stamp, then this You Make My Heart Buzz, and I'm just going to adjust where I'm putting my jar accordingly. Okay, whoa! Sliding my little ink pad closed, getting misty moonlight all over myself. Okay, we've got vellum, because of course we do, because it's Kelly and she is obsessed. So let's build this little vignette all together, and then put it onto the vellum. Then we're going to put it onto your card, okay? So the first thing to do is figure out where you want that little jar to go. So I'm putting a little bit of adhesive here where I know it's going to sit onto my tag. Oh, you know what I did on this one? I actually put the dimensionals underneath this. That might look cute. I don't know. Sure, let's do that. I can pivot. Look at me go. And get everything stuck to me in the process. Here we go. So you're the sweetest. Do you guys like marmalade? I don't know if I do or not. It's like I like the idea of it, and then I have it, I'm like, whoa, that's a lot. It's kind of like overly sweet maybe, and tangy. I don't know how to describe it. You guys have had it, but I like it, but I'm not really a jam person, so. Okay, I'm going to put that just like this. And it's kind of sinking down because, of course, I put all that adhesive on there already. So let me just put... You guys ever do this? When you change your mind, come back with some other adhesive backing and cover it up? Yep. If only people took apart our cards. Thank goodness they don't. They would find all kinds of interesting things. I'm going to put this on with some Stampin' Seal, and I'm putting it right under where it's going to be covered by the elements on the front of the vellum, and kind of have it hanging off a little bit, because I like the idea of seeing through this vellum piece and having that kind of layered look. I'm going to do dimensionals on the back of the marmalade jar and also on the back of this little tag. And that's going to make sure that it's really stuck up and that easel is going to stay in place. Oh yeah, so some people just love it. So Michelle says, my dad loves marmalade, but it's not for me. Yeah, it's like maybe one of those hit and miss ones. Either you love it or you hate it. Or me thinks that they love it until they have it, and then they're not really sure. Okay, I'm just going to put my easel there and then make sure that it's nice and straight, that it's fitting nicely, and then I just press that down. Good to go. The final finishing touch is to put on our cute little embellishments. These little strawberries have my heart. I love these strawberries. What did I do this time? I'm going to put them kind of everywhere. Here we go. I was really pleased with how the colors came together for this card. They just seem to be a natural cohesion from that designer series paper. Stampin' Up! Designers do such a good job of putting together colors. I just don't want to overthink it. I just follow their lead, and then here we have this cute little, this cute little easel card. And I probably have this sitting maybe, let's see here, 3/4 of an inch. About 3/4 of an inch from the middle fold to the edge of that little easel section, just so that you can have that nice little easel on the side here. Okay, let me show you where these what these products are, and then tomorrow you'll be receiving my newsletter with all of the supply sheets and measurements and everything, and the products, so that you can purchase them. This is called Homemade Sweetness Designer Series paper. It's available as an online exclusive right now, but as we know, online exclusives and all of Stampin' Up's products truly are while supplies last. This one is worthy of a little zoom in as well. Look at those cute little ladybugs. They're great. They match with our designer series paper. Then you've got like the picnic table gingham background. You've got some cute little white flowers, and then like a little checker there. And then of course all of the ones that I used up for the cards that you're making here. So the smaller jars, the bigger jars that we're cutting apart, and then this awesome fruit paper that just kind of brings it all together. I love this cute little suite. And if you're like me, where you like to dabble into suites of products and try them out, the Designer Series paper is a great jumping off point. You can see, truthfully, it was just the Designer Series paper and the embellishments that we used from the suite, but I feel like it has a really cohesive look on the project. So I used a circle punch for the vellum. I love vellum. If you haven't yet, grab yourself a pack. You'll be so happy with it. The banner sayings, of course, is a great saying set to go with a lot of different things. We used this, I don't know what this punch is. It'll be on the supply sheet tomorrow, but it's a maybe tailored tag or something like that. And then these embellishments are called strawberries and dots. They come with Misty Moonlight and strawberry slush colored circles, and then these cute little strawberries. I love those, the little seeds. Okay, on to the next project. I'll move this to the side. There we go. And the next one is something totally different. I am so excited to play with this suite with you all. It's one of those ones that is just really, really eye-catchingly different. And as a demonstrator of almost 19 years and a customer before that, I really love different looking suites. So that's what I typically gravitate towards now. As I've been around the block a few times here, I know what I already have in my collection, and then I like to supplement it. I'm going to just switch this out a little bit because I want different colors. There we go. So for this card here, we're going to be doing a little bit more of a grungy look, and you can take it or leave it. Again, that's a little bit polarizing, but I'm going to show you some techniques that you can do with your fun supplies here to make it look totally different. So this is the card that I'm going to be showing you, and it's got some texture. I'm doing some background stamping here that I actually did some heat embossing on. So can you see that there? It's just clear with Versamark ink, clear embossing powder with Versamark ink, and then all of these little gears come on top of this. And guess what? There's more vellum. So first things first, let's take a look at this beautiful cardstock base that has so much potential. It is our smoky slate color. You could use smoky slate ink on top of it, or you can use our Versamark, which doubles as every single color, every single Stampin' Up color. So what I did was set up my stamp positioning tool here with some stamps that are going to work if I align this just like this with a 8-inch, and then to hold it in place, I'm going to use my little magnets here, just like that. And there's a little bit of tenting happening because I did fold my card, but I wanted to show you the location of where I'm actually going to be placing these. What I really enjoyed about mounting these in this application was I could take my vellum and then I could position my stamps. I'm just going to do it with this one, maybe. Oh, it's really on there. I could position this so that I could say, okay, I want it to stamp up in that corner there. Like that's exactly where I want it. And then I take my stamp positioner. I'm using the bigger one because there does come with 2 of them. The small one's significantly smaller and has 4 little spring shot feet. This one has 2 spring shot feet down here at the bottom. Down here at the bottom, and then up here at the top it has pegs. So what I'm going to do first of all is press down, and then now that stamp is locked onto this this big clear block, and now I can get the perfect position every single time. This is great for finicky stamping. This is great for mass production. This is great when you need a bigger block and you want to do all this stamping all at once. So I've flipped this over. I'm going to use my clear Versamark ink to ink up these 3 stamps from this awesome bundle. The Gears and Textures bundle comes with a stamp set that doesn't have any words in it, just a whole bunch of graphics. So you can see there's some of the gears, and then I'm using this little piece here. This is probably my favorite stamp out of that whole thing. I just love those kinds of lines. And then if you get the bundle and save 10%, you can get the dies, which have, again, just lots of textural, intricate pieces and banners and bars, but no sayings or anything like that on this whole thing. So it's a great versatile, kind of more masculine look, like a little bit more industrial looking, but again, something totally different than all of the flowers that we have and love. Okay, now I'm going to press it down so you can see it's just hovering over the top. There's about maybe 1/4 of an inch. And then I just press down, and then it's going to make contact with the paper. I just press a little bit and make sure that it's got a good application. It will pop right back up, and then you can use this over and over and over again. You could leave it like that, or take it up a notch with some clear embossing powder and just scoop it up like that. There we go. And now we need to heat set it with our heat tool. This is very different than a hair dryer. This heats up to about 300, 400 degrees at the end there, and it just melts the embossing powder right into the paper, so you can see it starting to change. It's going to leave it looking shiny, so it's turning from looking grainy and powdery to really sinking into the paper and having a shiny, wet look. It's just magic. It's that technique that wows me every single time, even, 2 decades later. And that clear embossing, just remember, that's, again, so versatile for you. You can turn it into any color of embossing powder if you're using a different color of ink underneath, right? So I used a clear ink, so it made it look like it was the exact same color as this cardstock. But if you used a black, then it would be black embossing powder. If you used red, then now you have red embossing powder, right? This one has lots of little pieces, so just make sure you have got it kind of contained in your workspace there. The next piece that we're going to work with is this beautiful cherry cobbler rectangle, which would look fine put onto the card just like that. But I'm going to texture it and just make it a little bit more distressed. Oh, Priscilla's loving the distressing. Yay! Sometimes the squeaky wheel, right? But I love that you are loving the distressing. What I'm doing is just crinkling this as much as I possibly can to break it down, and I will focus even a little bit extra on one corner. As you can see, I did a little bit of an extra distressed look here, and I peeled the paper apart. So this is the core of the paper, which for this cardstock is the same as the outside. But we know that our 12 by 12 cardstock is a two-tone. So one side, actually, I need to crinkle this a little bit more. One side is a darker tone, one side is a lighter tone, and then the middle core is white of our 12 by 12. Here it comes. So when you start to break it down, then you can delaminate the paper layers, and you can have a little bit of fun layering those. You could put a little dot of glue underneath there if you wanted to, or even a glue dot if you wanted. Whoa, that's ending up being a lot. It's really squishing out. Thank goodness for paper scraps in the garbage, right? So now I'm just going to kind of fold that down on itself, and I put this on with dimensionals. I went a little bit dimensional crazy on my sample. I think I'm going to tone it down a little bit more, doing dimensionals here on the back side of the red, and then I'm going to put the vellum straight onto the card itself. And you can flatten it a bit, or you can leave it so it's really textured. This is your project. You do what you like. But it just totally changes the look of the card, and I just think it really matches that kind of grungy industrial look. So while I'm kind of waiting for that to dry, that's okay, no problem. I'm going to put this onto the cardstock back. You could do that with some Stampin' Seal. I'm going to use a little bit of a heavier duty, just because I can see this bending a little bit, and I want it to lay nice and flat. I want it to be bendy where I want and flat when I want. I'm a bossy card maker. That's just going to sit right onto our card here. I love vellum. It's just the perfect addition so that you're not adding a new color, and I wanted to make this border here nice and big so that you could kind of see through to what was happening underneath, right? You get a hint of this pattern continuing underneath. I'm obsessed. Anyways, you guys know that. We've got this fun little almost ladder looking piece, and maybe it's like a chain, right? Like a little drive chain or something like that. I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. You know, hindsight 2020, it would have been nice to have some adhesive sheet on there, but I also don't want it adhered all the way along, so it was kind of a conscious decision at this time to just have it adhered by you. You can put more dimensionals if you want. I'm going to layer a bunch of pieces on over top, so it's not going to be troublesome for me. So pop out your little pieces of your gears. That one's popped out nicely. And then we've got a little tag here that we're going to do our stamping on, and our embellishments at the end as well. So let's put this on with some mini dimensionals for the big gear. Mini dimensionals and dimensionals have incredible sticking power, actually. So they're kind of handy for things that are going on to like not flat, wavy kind of pieces. I'm going to start with this big gear. And then tuck my other little gears around it. So this one is going to go on with mini glue dots that are going to kind of be rolled in half. What do you guys think? Are you digging on these gears? Kind of fun, right? Kind of fun for something different. So that little piece there. Then there was the centerpiece of this, and Kathy and I, you know, as she was cutting these out, we thought, hey, well, let's just include it. If you want it, you can have it, and if you don't like it, then you can put it to the side. That's no problem at all. Little mini glue dot for the center of that other gear. So I'm going to put the fancy gear kind of up here, and then this circle piece, I'm just layering, and it's going to end up being just peeking through a little bit behind this tag. This I need more adhesive on, I can tell. It's kind of moving a little bit on me. So now for our tag, I'm going to showcase, would you believe it, the same banner sayings as the last card there. So the other one I used, "You're the Sweetest." This one I'm going to use "Happy Birthday." It's always great to have more birthday cards, especially for like a more masculine style. So I'm just stamping that straight into the middle. You can use your Versamark if you want again, or, oh, I don't like that. H got a little bit smushed. Let's give it another shot. Come on, second side of the paper. Don't fail me now. Yeah, perfect. So that can go on just like that. You can emboss it if you want to. I'm going to stick it on with some super duper heavy duty tear and tape, and that will, I think, hold it on a little bit more nicely than my first sample card there, which is kind of moving around a little bit. And I'm just putting this kind of tucked up like that, just the layers going on. Yeah, this one's moving a little bit. I'm going to fix it while I'm thinking of it. I did glue dots, I guess, the last time, but I need more sticking power. And I think just even having it adhering to multiple different things is good on this card, right? Having a longer strip is going to be helpful. And then mini glue dot for the back of your trinket. Again, apologies to those who didn't get these as their free gift. I did have quite a few of them, and then it was a very busy month. What a wonderful thing. And there were lots of people cashing in their free $100 gifts. So good job, all of you. And I hope you enjoy the gifts that I'm giving you, because I always try to work them into the projects a little bit. Then there's two other kind of industrial style trinkets, but these ones are actually not a part of this suite at all. I'll show you where they come from. These little adhesive backer sheets. There we go. Cool, right? Something totally different. So these products come from a few different places. The gears are an online exclusive. Again, they're called Gears and Textures, stamp set and dies. So many great options there. And we also used the triple banner punch. That center one there is so awesome. I featured the industrial trinkets, which were a retired item that I was giving away with a minimum $100 order. But these other ones are actually called adhesive backed metallic gems. They come in copper, gold, and silver in 2 different sizes in a pack. And I think that they're just the perfect complement to this card design. These ones are from our annual catalog. I used vellum, which comes in a 12 by 12 size now. And then I used some foils from a couple different places. You'll have to see what's current and what's not current on the website. But this more matte looking one, it's still shiny, but it's just not as like shiny as this, right? So it's more matte than the darker color. This is our Lunar Luster specialty paper, which is an online exclusive right now, I believe. And then the darker of the two metallics, the shinier one here, that almost reads a little bit more into like the purples kind of range. That comes from a 3-pack, which comes with copper and gold and this like pewter color. This is called Textured Metallic Specialty Paper. They call it bright copper, gold, and tungsten. There you go. That's the color, tungsten. We were just looking at rings the other day made of tungsten. But my husband didn't like the dark look. I think he just wants to go with something more traditional. He lost his wedding ring when we were on the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip a couple of years ago in Mexico. So we still are looking around, seeing what we want to replace it with, if he wants the same one or if he wants to just try out something different. So we can't make a decision to save our lives. So meanwhile, he's walking around with nothing on his finger. That's all right. I know I still got him. He's mine. Okay, this last card here is another fun fold, but it's another simple fun fold. And I'm going to hopefully show you some different ideas, inspire you to modify your materials in a kind of fun and playful way. And I think everyone's card is going to look different for this one. Oh, you love it. I'm so glad you love it, Priscilla. Hooray. So this last card here is a fun fold that has almost like this like pivoty panel on it. And some really nice, beautiful metallic elements in there too. So I'm using some heat embossing with copper embossing powder. Our embossing powders come in 3 packs. So one is metallics and then one is more basic. So black and white and clear. So you'll want them all, right? You got to have them all. But let me show you how this card comes together. It's kind of as easy can be. We are going to start with our cardstock base. And you can see there's 2 score lines on the card. And I just have to turn this upside down here for a second so that I can show you how this folds together. I've trimmed off just an inch here, so it's now not 11 inches long, it's 10 inches long, and then scored in a kind of an arbitrary amount that's just going to look appealing with the layers that I have going on underneath it. So then this layer here, we're actually going to trim it back because we only need to have this little panel as a part of our little motion swing card here. So easy peasy, we're just going to trim up, and this is going to vary based on whatever element that you're putting onto it. So we're putting on this little piece here, which, you know, it's kind of a medium-sized piece, but if you had a smaller element that you're wanting to have as a swing, then you would honestly have to just trim away more, right? If you've got a bigger piece, that's okay. You can leave it a little bit longer. I like to trim in though a little bit from that fold line so that you're not seeing that score kind of as a border around your designer series paper, because you will see it here. So there we go. We've got our little hinge piece, and we can start playing around with our paper. So you'll notice you could use your designer series paper just like this with the black and copper, and that would look very beautiful too. But when we can customize it and make it completely our own, we should, right? In theory, we could. So I'm going to show you, this is this is my arguments in the court case of cloud cover is a neutral. And I will present to the courts many different findings and explorations and hopefully convince you that cloud cover is a neutral. So one of the ways that you can plan your projects is using this color coach wheel. This doesn't have the cloud cover on it because that's an in color, but boy oh boy, it's really helpful when you're looking at designing. So if you're looking triadic, you can choose like one here, one here, one here. Complementary will be using all from that same kind of tones right here. Monochromatic, complementary is opposite. Monochromatic is just the single side. And then analogous is like using a whole range of colors that work together, but it's not from different areas of the color spectrum. So I hope that makes sense. But this is such a great tool. It's not just available for demonstrators anymore. They've brought this out and it's really high quality. It's kind of laminated, and it's a great way of designing with your project. So you could just take a look and see which colors you like with this. Oh, wouldn't that pretty peacock look nice? You know, mossy meadow is really quite striking too, but I'm going to show you some of the colors that I've pulled out as great options for you to use with your blending brushes and to apply a little bit of color to this designer series paper here. So let's take a look at Lemon Lolly. That's what I did here for this sample, and I just love it. I think it's so pretty. This cloud cover works really, really well with a whole bunch of pastel tones, and then also a whole bunch of bright tones. So I'm going to take you through a bunch of them here, and you can decide which ones you like. And if some really stand out to you, will you please put it in the comments, like whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube. I would love to see what you think is an amazing match to go with cloud cover. Cloud cover is a neutral. Michelle is in agreement with me. Awesome. This is Peach Pie. This is another one of our in colors that's leaving us, and I just think it's so pretty. Petal Pink is a core color. Look at that though. Like, it looks great. I should put this on top here like this. Petal Pink looks so good. Fresh Freesia really tends to like brighten it up. Pretty in Pink, which is a returning returning core color from the past, which is now an in color that is retiring. Highland Heather, if you wanted to go more into the purples, that's pretty fun and exciting, right? And Bubble Bath is just gorgeous. Okay, then we go into a little bit more of like the bright tones. Petunia Pop is one that an in color that is retiring as well. So May 4th will be the last day that you can officially get those. But again, we know that things are selling out all the time. This is Timid Tiger. This is from our in colors, which are holding over for another year. So you still have another year to use that one. Crushed curry is not a color that I go to very often, but look at it in this combination. Isn't it gorgeous? Love that. And berry burst, wow. Just like stunningly gorgeous. So bright, so happy. Darling Duckling is another one of our in colors. This is going to be staying for, excuse me, another year. Gorgeous grape, like shockingly gorgeous. Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mambo. That's fun too, isn't it? Strawberry Slush is another one of our in colors that's leaving us. This is a really bright, happy pink. Calypso Coral is a tricky color to use sometimes, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous with that cloud cover? Daffodil Delight, another core color. And the one that I'm going to be showcasing, Blackberry Bliss, again from our core color collection. So whatever you decide is going to be perfect because cloud cover is a neutral. And boy, oh boy, I want to write a letter and tell them that it needs to be in our collection moving forward. Okay, so I'm going to use my Blackberry Bliss and I'll get my little grid paper in here again. It's so handy to have it in this size. This is to go along with the stamp positioner, but it's got little holes in there so that it lines, but it's really handy for all different types of applications. Okay, so with a dark color, you're going to want to do a test run because you can see, okay, it's got lots of color on there. I'm going to start really light and then I can go applying more and more color from there. So I'm starting just with the centers of the flowers. That's going to be the darkest. And then I'm going to do a wash of the entire sheet and not making it perfect, making it varied. I'm using my fingernails to hold it. If you don't have fingernails, you can also use a little, take your pick tool, and this side actually might even work well. Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more now around these flowers. So I'm just applying more pressure and kind of focusing on that. I haven't re-inked. Again, this is a very deep color. I don't want to overwhelm this piece of paper. I just want it to showcase that color a little bit. Okay, Michelle's signing the letter. Poor Stampin' Up. They don't know what's coming for them. Like these crazy Stampin' Up fans. Oh no, I don't have any Kleenex here, but I'm just going to use a little chamois that I have. This is not a wet chamois, but I'm just taking the ink off of the foiled areas because the ink won't penetrate into the foiled section, so you just want to take that off so that it doesn't make you inky, or the person inky, whoever is holding this card. All right, so now we've got that beautiful customized piece of paper. What color did you end up going with? I'm sure there's lots of times where Stampin' Up's like, oh my goodness, they really, really are passionate about this. We didn't really see this coming. And we're like, how could you do this to us? Okay. When you're putting on something that's recently been inked, just flip it over. You can rub the back and burnish it that way. That's a great way of making sure that it's adhered, but not having it end up all over your fingers. Oh no! I did the thing that I didn't want you to do. Okay, don't do that yet. Okay. So now I get to use my heat tool to soften the adhesive so that I can peel this off and wrap the ribbon around. My goodness. She got distracted. Oh, Pretty Peacock with cloud cover is so nice. Pretty Peacock is one of my favorite colors. It's so deep and so rich. I love it. But I'm like a pool party girly, and like cloud cover I think is maybe my new favorite. Just because it's so neutral. Okay, there's a few different ways that you can modify this ribbon. This ribbon, I feel personally, my visual aesthetic is that it's just a bit wide, and it's a shame to cover up so much of this designer series paper. And Kathy and I were just puzzling, and then I said, why don't we just modify the ribbon? We can make this ribbon whatever we want it to be. So by snipping off this edge binding, you can expose the fibers on the inside that are woven together to create this beautiful shimmery, shiny ribbon. So when I snip off that, then I can actually start to grab these fibers and pull them just like this. So you'll get some little pieces, that's okay. And then you'll get the longer pieces, because you probably couldn't trim up just exactly in one line, right? That's a little bit tricky to do. So we're going to have little pieces. We'll put those to the side. We don't need those. And then you can grab as many of these threads as you want. You could do like a swoopy loop coming out from the back here from this white layer. You could have kind of it looping out that way. This one here, I just took these fibers and adhered one side, twisted it just like this, and made my own little woven ribbon, and then adhered it on the bottom. And then with these ones, I'm actually going to show you that you can tie them in a knot. You can take as many of these as you want. For this one, I use the entire piece of ribbon, which works better if you trim off both sides, just because these frayed edges start, or you could, I guess you could do some little haircut on this section. I'm going to cut this off camera though, just so that I can clean it up more easily. Sorry. Behind the scenes, the ribbon is getting a haircut. And it's not ending up all over my project. Okay, there we go. So I've trimmed that now, trimmed those little frayed pieces off the side so that I can get even more of these longer strands. Do you guys play around with your ribbons like this? It's so much fun when you can take something and make something new out of it. So now I've got that. I'm going to tie them in a knot. So much easier doing this off camera because I'm holding it about, I don't know, a foot from my face. So now I've got these tied in a little knot, and now I can have this wrapping around. And if there's any pieces that you don't, that are coming loose, just feel free to pull those out, right? This is your, make it bend to your will, right? The number of times that you've adhered something before you meant to, I agree. I hope I caught you in time this time. I'm putting this on with a little glue dot in behind because I can tell that this wants to untie itself. And then now now this is stuck to my table. Oh boy, this is a real adventure. I'm going to take my pieces and just wrap them around the back, and you better believe that that tear and tape is going to come in handy this time. This reminds me of like unicorn hair. I think this is what unicorn hair would look like. Like a mane of a unicorn. Okay. Let's take these little bits and bend them to my will by adhering them on the back. Ta-da! That's a little bit extra. I don't need that right now, but I do need it up here. Oh, got one crazy one that wants to go out the top again. Oh, this is just so much softer looking. And again, a little bit more like magical, whimsical. Come on, sweetie, let's just work with me here. All right. Like my fingers are sticky. There we go. So I've got that wrapped around now, and I will use this as double-sided tape this time. So take your pick tool. And then I already have that Stampin' Seal on there, which is causing me more grief than it's actually worth here. Yeah, there we go. Me in the basement yelling aloud, "You will bend to my will." My husband upstairs. You know, whatever you gotta do, Michelle, right? Whatever you gotta do. You come upstairs afterwards like, "Did you have fun crafting, honey?" He's terrified. Okay, so we've got the ribbon on there. It's looking good. You could have it swooping. You could have it taken apart. You could have it twined. You could have it just wrapped around normal. No problem. Whatever you want to do. Let's do this section here where we're going to modify a leaf and turn it into a border. So there were some Stampin' Up! Dies that did these gorgeous intricate border pieces, but I was inspired by a card that Kathy made that I saw the other day when she was over, and I wanted to do the same thing, and I thought, oh, we can actually take this one leaf, trim it kind of down the stem so that it turns into a border, just like that. And we're going to hide this underneath a 4x4 piece of paper. And we don't have to be too perfect about this, but I think that one of the best ways to do this is actually to adhere this rectangle first, or this square first. And just making sure that you give a little bit of space here so that it's not adhered right to the edge. Then you can slip the other one underneath. Okay, so this does have adhesive backing on it, and that's going to help you when you're taking out these little leaf pieces that stayed in the die cut piece. So that's going to peel away in theory. In theory, hopefully it does. This one didn't. You can press that out onto your finger. Doesn't even want to do that. There you go. You can press it out just like that. So this part here is going to go coming out the bottom. I'm going to just bend my card and then I can lay it underneath there. And don't press it down quite yet. We want to make sure that we've got it in the right position before we commit. And then this one here, again, got that adhesive backing. Just use your take your pick tool or scissors to peel that off. And again, we've got one more piece that just didn't want to cooperate, but that will also bend to my will. Okay, this one goes kind of underneath like this, so it's just kind of peeking out the edge like that. And I'm so happy with that. Oh, it's gorgeous. So press that down, then it will be nice onto that backing piece there. We're going to stick this on again. Tear and tape is going to be your best friend for anything that's moving and swinging and needs that extra adhesive power. I'm just cracking up thinking about your husband. What is going on down there? So now we can put this piece on. This goes along with that beautiful copper color in the designer series paper, and you could choose to put this wherever you like. You could move it over to the side so it's center. You could have it so that it's kind of hinging over a little bit more. So it just depends whatever you like the look of. I'm going to go that the center of these bumps are aligned with that edge there. So it's not necessarily centered on the card, it's just a little bit offset. And then I'm going to do some things just so that I can let it dry. I gave you some really nice white embellishments, but we know that anything white can be colored, just like our designer series paper. I'm going to do some coloring and customizing with my embellishments here. So taking my coordinating color, this is Stampin' Blends. These are alcohol-based markers, and this is the Blackberry Bliss color. I'm going to just use my brush tip to color onto these embellishments. And if they were bigger and attached to the bigger sheet, like your big packages that you get them at home, then that's a lot easier than doing it like this. But you don't want to do it while it's on your card, because then you'll be coloring your paper, whereas this just goes on the backing, right? Okay, bend to my will. There we go. That one's looking good now. And this one's going to be good. Oh, for those of you who are watching live, I forgot to mention as well that since we didn't have our chance to visit last night with our video chat, that's an interactive video chat on Mondays, we're going to do it as an after party. So if you are available right after we finish this recording, we can have a little chat and catch up on lives. So if you're looking for that, I will put the link. It was in your email, but if you want the link and you didn't get the email, I'll put it in the I'll put it on my Facebook page actually, and then you can look it up that way, and that'll come right after this event. Okay, the last finishing touch is Versamark again, and I'm going to put a saying on from this Greenery Lane. This is, here we go, Greenery Lane, the bundle, comes with that die that we've used as the border, and then a whole bunch of other images, or sorry, pieces that go with the images from the photopolymer stamp set. Also included in the stamp set are some great sayings. I did love and hugs on this one, and for this one I'm going to do here for you. There's also thank you and wishing you well. I should mention as well that the dies that we're using here are nesting dies, and we've used nearly all of them now over the last many months. So they start off really big. We did actually the big ones first. That was with like a leaf card that we watercolored, and then we've used the smaller ones, and on this card we're using these like middle-sized one. There's one that's even smaller than any of the ones that we've used. So this is a great set for giving you lots of fun shapes that you can play with for lots of different styles of cards. And they're just so different than like a normal rectangle. So I love, again, anything that's just a little bit different is so nice and refreshing. Oh, I already have it mounted. Oh, there it is. I have it out for myself. I love it when I prepare things for myself and then it throws me off even more than normal. Oh, it's so good to see you, Michelle. Take care. Have a good night, and thank you so much for tuning in. This one I'm going to do some heat embossing with a copper. The Matrix meets crafting. Totally. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, I've got my embossing powder behind me here. We're going to scoop that up. And that stamped image will just appear out of nowhere. But it's not ready quite yet. And you heard me blowing. I blew a little bit to get off the excess. And then there's some little crumbs here. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick putty. And I have to do that with it laying down here. And I'm just going to grab this extra. Then when you're done, you just peel off that little bit. You can twist this, and then a little bit more putty will come out. What you want to do is have the putty start coming out and then release the pressure. And then that will make it so that it's not like a big long snake coming out and wasting your putty. It's just coming out in a controlled manner. So you twist it a bit, get it started, and then release the pressure. And that will work really, really well for you. Here for you. Did I do heat embossing on all 3 cards? No. I did do Versamark on all 3 cards though, didn't I? It is my favorite technique. When that magically starts to change and become shiny, it's just so stunning. It's nice when Stampin' Up's papers do that for us, but there's something about words being embossed that I think is just next level gorgeous. So I'm going to, since that's just drying for a minute, I don't usually do it like this, but we'll put it onto this piece. And I suddenly thought, uh-oh, did I press record at the very beginning of this? Yes, I did. Oh, thank goodness. I had the wherewithal to press record, because this is going to go onto our YouTube channel, my YouTube channel as well. So we got Here For You, and then take your pick to get these little colored gems off and onto our project. I put them in clusters of 3 and 2. And I don't know why I do that, but that's just my aesthetic. Makes it look like they were just kind of scattered and put onto, they just kind of fell onto your project, and that's where they lay, bedazzling your project. Just like that. Here For You with this really fun little swing card. Cute, right? It's something a little different, but considered a fun fold, but quite straightforward. So some of the other products that we use, of course, are our blending brushes. It's nice to have a mixture of small and large ones. I just store them in this cute little jar from leftover from my wedding, but you can see the size difference here between the small and the large. The large comes, I think, with 2. Sorry, you have to look how they come now, because that might have changed. So they come in multi-packs, though. You can get large ones or small ones together, and these are going up in price on May 5th. So if you're interested in getting, a few more, it's a good idea to get them now instead of after May 5th. And we've also got our cloud cover in color showing in our ribbon, and this is a gorgeous ribbon. It's 1.6 centimeters wide, so 5/8 of an inch. You get 10 yards of it on this spool, and I promise you, you are going to have so much fun with this ribbon. It's called textured, and it's just like a, I don't know, like it's like a synthetic kind of woven ribbon. It's really shiny. So now I want to know, which was your favorite card tonight? So we've got lots of different projects. I'm just going to put these ones in as their own here. But we've got our Hello Spring paper pumpkin that we started with. That's our bonus card for the month. And then we moved into our little easel card here with the jams and the jellies and the honeys. That's a really fun one. I like that one. It's playful. And then we've got something totally different. Very kind of metallic, industrial, like the colors are quite cool and a little bit more masculine. We've got the metallic hardware on there for our gears, and then we've got a flowery swing card here with some gorgeous metallic copper there as well. So which is your favorite? Oh, you like the 90s grunge. Good job, Priscilla. Even if you're watching this in the future, please let me know. Oh, I should show you this paper. Sorry, guys. This designer series paper comes in a 3-pack. We've used, I think, all 3 of the patterns now. So I have to just peekaboo into this other set. So this one we've used just on this project. And we used that one last month. And then there's this cool grid one as well, which you can use as like a border. And that's just white with copper embossing on there. So you know you can make it whatever color that you want. And I want to remind you as well, Stampin' Up's adhesive sheets are just so easy. They come in a pack of 12, which are 6 inches by 12 inches long, and you can cut them down to whatever you need. They turn any piece of paper into a sticker. And so you just stick it onto the back side of the paper, and then you can die cut it, and then just like we did for these leaves, then you peel off that backing, and now it's a sticker. So it's great for really intricate things, and these are going up in price. So just make sure you get those before May 5th. You'll want an extra pack of those to do you for the next while. And then the earth and tone metallic paper is that coppery sort of look that we used for those leaves. So if you're looking for those products, you can find them in the online store for sure, and maybe even the catalogs, depending on which catalog you have. All right. Love, love, love crafting with you guys in this format. So thank you so much for joining me. Oh, Donna's saying the honey one is so bright and fun. I agree. That one's like kind of I was going to say kind of my jam right now, but that would be too much of a pun, wouldn't it? Oh, tragic, just tragically punny over here. But I really like that one. I think that one's my favorite. It incorporates my vellum love and then these bright colors and these cute fruit images in behind. And then I don't know, I love that little easel. So we've done easels going the other way before, and then this is our first time doing it like this together as a card club. So thank you for joining me. If you want to craft along, again, just reach out. I've got a whole bunch of projects from past months that we can use and send out all over Canada. And I love crafting with you. There's hours and hours and hours of inspirational videos available for you. And then the projects prepped for you along with it is just icing on the cake, right? So if you haven't already, reach out to me about a few different things, okay? Cafe crafting in person is happening this Sunday, hopefully. And so just let me know if you're interested in that, and then I can keep you posted for the timing. You need to contact me, please, if you're interested, even if it's not 100%, just so that I can keep you in the loop, because that one might be kind of touch and go, again, based on solo parenting and my son being out of town for this activity. So if you want to be notified about that, just reach out and I will keep you in the loop specifically. And then also let me know if you don't have a set of supplies. You can reach out to me about past kits. And if you have any questions about the transition of catalogs, that's all happening very, very much right in the next couple of weeks. And if you don't have a catalog, of course, you got to get your hands on this new catalog. It's a lot thinner, so do prepare yourself, but they're not necessarily reducing their amount of supplies. They're just printing fewer supplies. So, and they're doing it in a way that is a little bit more effective on space. So you'll find some items are online exclusives, some are just in the catalog and online. And then this catalog is my favorite layout that they've ever done. I really think you're going to love it. But when you get your catalog from me, you'll also get a little bookmark, including a whole bunch of information on the back there and a link to my upcoming events in person and online. And then you'll also get a bonus card from me. So if you're looking for the instructions, those have not been posted yet. I don't know if I'll get to my recording tomorrow or Friday, but stay tuned for that. And if you'd like that linked, just make sure you're reaching out to me and getting on my newsletter list, okay? So thank you so much for crafting with me. I hope to stamp with you again very soon. Take care.